they look like bridesmaids. And they all gang, so don't be talking sideways. Salty, they sodium, they jelly, petroleum. Always talking in the background, don't never come to the podium. Chef Cardi B, I'm up, I see you at the again. While you was sleeping on me, I make 40 bands by 4 p.m. Baby, take it. Everything you want, I'm like a walking. I don't understand what this hate is about. How you go your man with my name in your mouth? I do the Maybach on Monday, Ferrari Friday. This is sweet Saturday, that's just what I say. I say, babe, it's a. He said it's a. Them pretty. You look like Beyonce, looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, yeah, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway, looking like money back, 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 money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all.
Hey, what's up, gang?
Let me go secure for the game right quick.
Hey, what's up, gang?
I got it.
I think it's my fault.
For real.
What's up,
Get the
gang?
rest.
Hey, I got that chicken to go.
I'm gone.
A lot of these look lost.
They
They broke. They think it's my fault. No car. I want that caught. I'm dripping. I'm stuck with the sauce.
Good drip. Good drip.
But she love you. Don't cut your.
Trouble keeping up with the Joneses? It's the coach. You're watching Madden Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, Aaron Jones, no picnic a week ago. He's looking for another big game. Coming up, we'll see the visiting Chicago Bears taking on the Los Angeles Rams. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, thank you much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Chicago Bears and the Los Angeles Rams. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Rams team as they interplay. They come in after a loss last time out, but they've still been in good form, winners of 6 of their last 8. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, they're halfway home, looking good at a perfect 8-0.
And not much to complain about so far, is there? I'd have to say they're the best team in the NFL through the first half of the year.
The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their quarterback, the guy out of California, the former Cal Bear, Jared Goff.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
Now a first down throw. Gone. And the open receiver, it's Robert Woods. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
On second down, it's Jones. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Looking downfield, and that's caught right side. He's got his man. 20, 10, touchdown, Allen. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Rams are going to take a first-quarter lead. Well, that's how they envisioned to get the football to start the game and score.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Now a play fake here on first down. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Defense gives up a touchdown the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. They go play action here on first down. Flushed out right. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. A really nice gain of 25 yards. 2 plays, 2 catches. You have a feeling they're going to look for him early and often, and that's to be expected. You got a player of his caliber, why not?
And I think it's also a message from them to the defense that you're not going to dictate to us what we're going to do with one of our better players, because so often you hear about defenses saying we're going to take away what you do best. In this case, they're going to move him around, find proper matchups, and make sure they continue to funnel the ball to him.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And this is going to be incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's fourth down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. The kick by Carlson is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, I like the observation there because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal.
Look at this time for Woods, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Eli Apple. And he will take this across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. Woods, the intended receiver.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
They'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, force the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 23 yards on the play.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
This is Cohen on the toss. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And this is caught at the 8. A first trip to the red zone for the Bears. This is first and goal from about the 8. They run. This is Cohen. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
They get it to him running left. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's third and goal. He'll drop to throw. He'll leave it for Cohen, complete. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10.
Holding offense.
So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Carlson able to put this one through. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So 2 first-quarter field goal attempts for him, and he's converted on both.
I like the positive right there. 2 for 2. Got the points on the board. The negative side is they didn't score touchdowns. And, of course, going forward in this game, that's going to be the aim. And hopefully he'll be kicking extra points instead.
Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. The give is to Jones. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to have a 3rd down.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And he'll get it down to the 47 here. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. And incomplete here, so a little razzle-dazzle on that one, but they couldn't hook up, and it's 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd, gone. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
They didn't get the 1st down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the 1st. And my goodness, this is incomplete. No luck for the Rams as they fail here on 4th down. Even though they didn't get it, probably the right call. Too long for a field goal and just not a whole lot to gain from a punt there.
Yeah, you wouldn't have really netted very much yardage if you pumped the ball, right?
So now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the number 1 seed.
And that's a great spot to...
And that's caught inside the 30. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A gain of 39 that time. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike. We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his... And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. A great play there with touchdown number 20 on the year, and the Bears are in for 6.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better? Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
It worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to the City of Angels after this timeout. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that's going to make it 4th down. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. You might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen. And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that one was over before it could get rolling. How about the D just knifing into the backfield and shutting that one down?
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He's going to wind up and air it out. They've got his man complete. And all the way up to the 49. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Back to throw now on 1st down. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Cohen. Touchdown, Chicago! A great effort there. His 21st touchdown of the season. And the Bears will add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Getting set to go again here on offense, Jared Goff trots back onto the field. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get them back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once. where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
So far, he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that 2nd touchdown now. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently, we're going to get right back to it. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do...
He's got a man complete. A huge play there for Chicago. And even 50 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
They'll set up a throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A great play there. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Bears will extend their lead. The offense going to stay on the field as they will line up and go for 2. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the attention turns back to the Rams offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
180.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the
blitz coming, and down he goes. Khalil Mack in there yet again. What else is new as he continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. And with that sack, partner, he just became the all-time NFL sack king.
So now the Mount Rushmore of sack artists has been added to. This man now goes to the head of the class. Carve out a new spot for him.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch it. Doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Holding offense.
So that one a hold to right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen.
And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner, and I don't think with 3 scores down in the third quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. And this one will wind up being down just outside of that 20-yard line. Onto the field now come the Bears. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Taking it. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. They give him a gain of 38. They'll look to throw here on first down. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. That one goes for 36 yards.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
They'll run for it with Tariq Cohen. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. A great effort there with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Bears will add on to their lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Jared Goff and the Rams headed back onto the field. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the third quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Here's Goff now on 2nd down. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Khalil Mack in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Goff now looking to throw. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Khalil Mack able to disrupt yet another pass play. His 3rd sack of the afternoon. Here's Johnny Hacker now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Taken from just outside the 30. A good return there, 17 yards, and the Bears take over. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He has been a touchdown machine. It has been enjoyable to watch.
And the scoreboard continues to light up as a result of his efforts. He's been a blast, though. Every time you look up, you just figure if he's got the ball in his hands, he's going to end up in the end zone. It's been that kind of a game for him.
Absolutely. Now you just keep waiting for more. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. This is Howard on 2nd down. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
I like the strategy. extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Back now in Los Angeles. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Got his target, Samuel. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too.
Personal foul.
And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Bears continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Carlson on for the PAT. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
To throw on second down is gone. Throw right side caught by O.J. Howard. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Goff now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
180.
From the gun, here's Goff. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Out of the gun. Goff throwing the out route and complete. That's Howard. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Curtis Samuel and the rest of the offense heading back out there now. And I think we both agreed he could have a really good game with this matchup, but over 200 yards now.
I don't think we saw it as that good, And I think what really makes it special is when games like this are occurring, it's not just getting locked in and in the zone and on a roll. It's continuing to adjust throughout the game because you know the defense is kicking coverages towards him, trying their best to slow him down, and he keeps getting the better of them.
Yeah, whatever they've done, it hasn't worked. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. They'll look to throw now on first down. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Watch 16. He likes to go for the sideline. Cut! 180!
Gone. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. 23 yards on the play.
If he's their best threat on offense, use your #1 cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first catch of the game. Big reason why they're down. Here's Gone. Drops it to Jones in the flat. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. First down carry by Jones. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Another carry, same story. 4th quarter, and he is in red numbers right now with a running game.
Hard to believe because you figure at some point you break off a run. But in this case, what we're seeing is just pure domination by the defense. I think it started with the scouting report. They got into what they were doing offensively, into their mindset, and now they're beating them to the punch on every snap.
Black 20. Al, look up.
On 2nd down, here's Goff. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. The tackle.
A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Eli Apple. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
They begin the drive on the ground with Cohen. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
They try again with Cohen. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now it looks like he'll throw here. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They go play action here on first down. And that is incomplete. Curtis Samuel, the intended target. And that'll bring up 2nd down. 4th quarter, you got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. That is caught at the 7.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Bears, the train just keeps rolling. 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for L.A., the loss will drop them to 6-3 now on the year. And they'll be at home for one next week as the Atlanta Falcons come to town. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.